If you ever find yourself trekking through the high-altitude cloud forests of Central America, sitting quietly amidst the moss-covered trees and heavy, rolling mist, you might just catch a sudden flash of deep, brilliant red. Suddenly, a bird rockets out of the canopy, trailing two massive emerald green ribbons that ripple behind it like a flying serpent. To the ancient Maya and Aztec empires, this wasn't just an animal. This was the living incarnation of Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god. This is the Resplendent Quetzal. It is widely considered one of the most stunningly beautiful birds on Earth, and today, we are going to look at the mind-bending optical illusion hiding in its feathers, its bizarre obsession with wild avocados, and the legendary reason it became the ultimate symbol of human freedom. First, let's dismantle its most famous feature, that incredible 3-foot-long tail. If you look at a male Quetzal during the breeding season, those long, elegant streamers trailing behind him aren't actually his tail feathers at all. They are upper tail coverts, specialized feathers growing from the lower back that overshoot the actual shorter tail underneath by a massive margin. But here's the real kicker. The color of those feathers is a complete lie. A Quetzal's feathers do not contain a single ounce of green pigment. Instead, they rely entirely on structural coloration. The feathers are packed with microscopic, layered structures called iridophores that act like tiny prisms. When sunlight hits them, it refracts, reflecting brilliant shades of emerald green, sapphire blue, and deep gold, depending on the exact angle of the light. However, carrying around a living cape that is twice as long as your entire body is an absolute aerodynamic nightmare in a dense, tangled jungle. To keep from shredding their prized plumes, the males have evolved a highly specific way of moving. When a Quetzal decides to take off from a branch, it cannot simply fly forward, or its long feathers will catch on the bark and snap. Instead, it drops backward off the branch into a brief free fall, letting gravity clear its cape before it pumps its wings and rockets upward in a distinct roller coaster-like undulating pattern. And they are using that specialized flight to hunt down their absolute favorite food, wild avocados. While humans love mashing them into guacamole, the Quetzal prefers to eat them completely whole. They hover in front of a tree, pluck the fruit, and shove the entire thing down their expandable throats. Their highly muscular stomach goes to work, stripping away the nutrient-rich, oily outer flesh. Once the meat is digested, the bird sits quietly for a few minutes before violently contracting its throat and regurgitating the massive, solid avocado pit completely clean. This bizarre habit makes them the most important seed dispersers in the entire ecosystem. But it is their deep psychological nature that truly captured human history. In the ancient Aztec and Mayan empires, the Quetzal's feathers were so intensely prized they were used as currency, worth far more than pure gold. However, killing a Quetzal was strictly illegal and punishable by death. Instead, specialized hunters would capture the birds alive, gently pluck the long breeding streamers from the males, and immediately release them back into the wild to regrow them. They did this because they learned a heartbreaking truth. The Quetzal completely refuses to live in captivity. When placed inside a cage, the extreme stress causes the bird to completely stop eating. It will rapidly wither away and die. Because of this unyielding spirit, the Quetzal became the ultimate symbol of liberty across Central America, and it stands proudly today as the national bird and currency of Guatemala. So, the Resplendent Quetzal is a magnificent living relic. It is an avocado-swallowing, prism-feathered king of the mist that carries a 3-foot cape and actively chooses death over a life in chains. If you want to glide into more spectacular wildlife secrets, make sure to hit that subscribe button